The Little Witch of Blueberry Hill. At the far edge of a quiet village, where the roofs sloped low and the roads twisted like old tree branches, stood a hill covered in wild blueberries. Most people only climbed it in summer, when the berries were ripe and sweet. But few ever stayed long, because at the top lived a witch. Or so they said. Her house was small, made of crooked wood and mossy stone, with a chimney that puffed purple smoke on rainy days and sparkled on clear ones. Lanterns hung from the branches outside her window, and strange herbs grew in pots shaped like pumpkins and teacups. And though no one had truly seen her magic, the villagers whispered, "She brews storms. She talks to crows. She turns milk sour if you look at her wrong." But the truth was much simpler. She was only a girl. Her name was Brina, and she was 11. She had unruly hair the color of midnight, eyes full of moonlight, and a dress always dusted in flour, soil, or, if she was lucky, sugar. She owned one pointed hat, 2 mismatched boots, 3 friends, none of them human, and a grandmother's spellbook that she treated like treasure. Brina wasn't a wicked witch. She was a hopeful one. She made blueberry pies that healed sore throats, teas that helped grandmothers sleep peacefully. And once, she stitched a spell into a stuffed bear that kept night terrors away. But no one ever asked her for help. They were afraid. So she practiced alone. One morning, while stirring a bubbling pot of blueberry jam enchanted with just a pinch of happiness, Brina heard a sound she never expected. Crying. Not the wind. Not the crows. Not the sound of a kettle whistling. Child. Brina peeked through the leaves. On the hill's edge sat a boy, scraped knees, muddy shoes, face in his hands, sobbing. She hesitated. She had never spoken to a village child. She stepped forward slowly. The boy looked up and gasped. "You're her," he blurted. "The witch of the hill." Brina winced. I'm not a bad witch." The boy sniffed. "Everyone says you are." Brina lowered her eyes. "Everyone's wrong." He blinked, then rubbed his nose. "I didn't mean to come here. I got lost." Brina noticed something then. He was clutching something in his hand. A broken wooden flute. "It was my grandfather's," he whispered. "I dropped it on the rocks. He passed it to me and I ruined it." Brina took a breath, a brave one. "I can fix it." He stared. "With magic." "Only the good kind," she said. He hesitated, then held it out. She gently took it, turning it in her hands. The wood was cracked down the center like a lightning strike. Brina whispered a few simple words, soft, careful, woven with kindness, and tapped the flute with her fingertip. The wood glowed. The crack closed. She handed it back. The boy's eyes went wide. "You fixed it." Brina smiled shyly. "You just needed a little hope stitched in." He hugged the flute to his chest. "Thank you." She nodded. "You're welcome." He stood awkwardly a moment. "Do you want to hear me play?" Brina's heart fluttered. No one ever stayed on Blueberry Hill. "Yes," she said quietly. He lifted the flute and played a soft, sweet melody. It was clumsy, a little breathy, but full of feeling. The blueberry bushes swayed. The crows tilted their heads. Even the jam pot simmered to the rhythm. When he finished, Brina clapped, cheeks flushed. "What's your name?" she asked. "Leo," he said. "What's yours?" "Brina." He smiled. "That's a nice name." No one had ever told her that before. Leo left at sunset, but he came back the next day. And the next. And soon, every afternoon, the hill was full of music. Brina would brew potions or mix pie filling while he practiced flute melodies, some gentle, some fast, some strange, all wonderful. She taught him which plants were friendly and which were grumpy. He taught her songs his grandfather used to play. For the first time, Brina wasn't lonely. But word travels fast in small villages. And fear travels faster. One morning the hill shook. Not from magic, not from weather. But from footsteps. Crowd. Adults. Villagers. Faces tight with suspicion. Leo stood behind them, panicked. "She's not dangerous," he shouted. "She's kind." But they didn't hear him. Or maybe they chose not to. There's smoke from her chimney at night, one said. My cow stopped giving milk, must be her, said another. She's turning the boy into a witch. Brina backed away, heart pounding. She wanted to tell them she made pies, not curses. She wanted to show them her grandmother's book, full of plant spells and healing charms. She wanted to say she had never hurt anyone. But fear makes people blind. Leave this hill, someone demanded. We won't have magic in our village. Not your kind. Brina's throat tightened. Her home. Her potions. Her blueberry bushes. The only place she belonged. She couldn't move. That was the worst part. Not that they wanted her gone, but that she wanted to stay. Leo stepped in front of her. You're wrong, he yelled. She helped me. She fixed my flute. She's not wicked. No one listened. So Brina did the only magic she could think of. She raised her hands, not to curse, not to hex, but to call the wind. Came soft as breath. The leaves rustled. The blueberry bushes shimmered. The air filled with tiny blue petals, like confetti made of sky. The smell of warm blueberry pie filled the air. Wheat. Antle. Familiar. The villagers froze. Brina didn't speak with words. She spoke with scent, comfort, care, home. With color, soft blues and kindness. With magic, not of fear but of love. Slowly, one of the women stepped forward. She took a breath. This smells like my grandmother's kitchen. Brina nodded, voice trembling. It's a healing pie. For grief. For illness. I never meant to frighten you. Leo held up the flute. And she makes music feel alive. The crowd shifted. Uncertain. Confused. Toughening. Finally an elder man spoke. Child, if your magic is kind, show us. Brina swallowed. I'll bake for you. No charms. No tricks. Just blueberries and hope. She worked silently, hands steady despite her shaking heart. Flour, berries, sugar, a little lemon peel. The village watched. The oven warmed. The air filled with sweetness. When the pie cooled, she cut slices and offered them one by one. Slowly expressions changed. A widow felt her sadness ease. A sick man's headache lifted. A child with nightmares felt safe again. The hill was quiet. Then the elder set down his plate. I was wrong. And the others said it too. Not all at once, but enough. Leo grinned at Brina. See. Told you. Brina laughed. Relieved, exhausted, full of joy. From then on, Blueberry Hill was still magical, but no longer feared. Children visited for snacks and stories. Parents came for healing teas. People sat among the blueberry bushes while Leo played his flute, now strong and sure. And Brina. She became the village witch, not the whispered about shadow, but the keeper of kindness. She stitched hope into pies. She brewed comfort into tea. She used her grandmother's spellbook the way it was meant to be used. Not to scare, but to heal. And every sunset, when the lanterns lit and the sky turned purple, she climbed to the top of the hill, breathed in the scent of blueberry wind and smiled. She was not feared. She was known. She was not alone. She was home.